Hello traders, welcome to your daily market update for Friday the 24th of April 2015, and we're going to have a quiet week to finish, quiet trading session to finish the week, but we do have a little bit of durable goods, but the whole market is really focusing on the Eurogroup meeting, and I think that with this we will see a lot of speculation. The price action will be really associated to the speculation and the rumours, and we've seen that last night with some weak Euro data coming out, and especially from France. And yet the pair rallied, and that was just because the market was so focused on the rumours that Greece was possibly going to get a deal done. But that was, of course, rumour, and nothing was said. But there are meetings going to take place in a few hours' time, so we'll start to see what happens from then on. My personal opinion is that they will just get an extension, and the euro will potentially be under a little bit of pressure as an extension doesn't really help anybody besides just delay the inevitable. We'll be back to the same position we are now in another month or two's time. Nonetheless, we can see here that the US data was weak overnight, and that really weighed on the US dollar, and we'll have a look at that and the outlook there. But so we're going to finish off with a quiet trading session with not a lot of data. We do have Anzac Day, Liberation Day, Freedom Day on the weekend. The markets are closed in New Zealand for Anzac Day, so keep that in mind. It shouldn't affect the markets too much, as New Zealand's not a real big trading partner in the currency world. Let's have a look at the dollar index, and we'll have a look here at the daily chart. And as you can see, we had a pretty bearish candle, and it's starting to look quite bearish, where we're starting to see these lower lows and momentum really hinder the index. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I was looking at the charts last night. If I go to a 4-hourly chart for you, we might be able to see that potentially what I was looking at is a head and shoulders pattern that we have through here, that we've failed to break it twice, and each time we just struggle to get much higher. So we could have a head and shoulders pattern here. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and but for now, momentum is definitely to the downside, as weak data is really playing havoc with the US dollar. It's going to struggle to rally, so I'm keeping an eye on those things. Let's have a look at the charts, because the New Zealand dollar has sold off, and it continues with those comments from the RBNZ as I spoke about, and selling got quite vicious really. And then we had a little bit of a bounce with the weakness in the US dollar towards the end of the New York trading session. But the market has continued to sell off today, and also there has been reports of an earthquake in New Zealand at 6.5, but I don't think there has been major damage. So for now, that did weigh on the currency pair, but I think that it will ease, and the market will continue trading as per normal due to no reports of major drama there. The Australian dollar has been quite buoyant, but we're still in a holding pattern. We're still in a range-bound market. We need to keep those things in mind. If I go to a 4-hourly chart, as you can see here, we're just bouncing between $1.78 and $1.77, and I think that that's where we're going to remain. It's going to be interesting for now. Resistance is $1.78. The euro had a bullish day purely on the rumours of a Greece deal. However, we still haven't broken through the near-term resistance levels, as you can see, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. I don't see it doing anything major, and I think we will continue to hover around into these areas here. The pound is still the performer of the market. So the New Zealand dollar is the weakest, and the pound is the strongest at the moment. If I go to a 4-hourly chart, as you can see here, we did take a little bit of a bounce with the weakness of the US dollar, and we're grinding our way very slowly to $1.51. If I go in and insert a moving average for you, you'll see that a 100-day moving average is actually going to offer resistance, and I think it'll be very likely to see that we will strike resistance level up in here, and we will start to see pressure, especially when we move into and get closer towards the UK elections. But for now, the data is good. They are talking about a rate rise, and well, the data is mixed, I should say. They are talking about a rate rise being their next move, and that's just added to the support for the short term. US dollar versus the Canadian. Now the selling's come underway. We did have this big break of the $1.24. We did have a little bit of a bounce, which I spoke about, and now we are fading away. That is due to US dollar weakness, but also due to the Canadian, oil having a bounce. And I think that we're going to see this continue and possibly a break here and continue on down. The trend is definitely in the favour for the downside, and I believe this could potentially be a long-term move. I'll have a quick look over at oil for you, and this will highlight here the moves that we can see. So as you can see here, we did have a little bit of a pullback after the breakout of this W pattern, which I've spoken about. We've tested the back of it, and we've now had a bounce. I do like this daily candle formation here of a rising star, and I believe that oil's got a good chance of moving higher. I'm not sure why the candles are playing up there. I must have a problem with my data at the moment. I apologise. The Japanese yen, as you can see, the US dollar just really held it down, but bonds and everything else continued to suffer, and we are still within this consolidation phase that I've spoken about. So really just looking to scalp this at the moment, and I don't think we're going to see too much else. So that's it from me today. I think it's going to be a quiet trading session. Don't get too excited and put on too many major positions. I don't think any new trends are going to be set. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back again next week. Until then, trade well.